Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for WFIN News 2 at lunch, or a little after lunch, about 2 o'clock here in the studio. As traffic across the upstate is looking nice, afternoon traffic outside of our time saver traffic Skycam network is not bad actually this afternoon. It's time of the day, sometimes rush hour, a little before the rush hour can be a little interesting out there, but hey, this afternoon is quite a blessing to have across the studio I-85 North at exit 51. And let's also get you a little closer to the upstate. How about it? No, this is more towards Anderson County, on the Anderson County side. Well, more towards Anderson County. But let's get you a little bit closer to home. This is I-85 South at mile marker 57 near Greenville Spartanburg Airport with time saver traffic. Looking very nice. I don't see any slowdowns across the upstate with our time saver traffic board. And of course, if we do, we'll show you that board. But right now, we're actually in the green right now, I do believe. But of course, yes, it looks like we may be headed in the green this afternoon. So that's pretty good across that area. But of course, if we do see anything, we'll let you know. But when we come back from our little break, we'll have the latest on your weekend forecast, plus so much more. We'll be right back.
This is your latest check of Time Saver Traffic. This report is brought to you by SC Department of Transportation.
Been in an accident? Dial 8647742164.
Well, good afternoon, or welcome back, and thank you for staying with us here on the break. We are following a breaking news story here in the upstate. We do know that one person was shot, or one person shot another one and robbed in Greenville. We do know that according to the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, a person was shot and robbed early Saturday morning. Deputies say that they were called around 1 a.m. about a person who had been shot outside of the Temple of Israel on Spring Forest Road. Excuse me. Investigators learned that the shooting happened following an armed robbery at the club on East North Street. The victim was taken to the hospital for further treatment, but the condition is unknown. But make sure you stay with us on News 2 for the latest on this story. We do also know that an earthquake has struck in the upstate. We do know that according to the United States National Geological Survey, an earthquake was reported on Friday night We do know that approximately the earthquake hit about 9:47 in Calhoun Falls. We do know that the depth of the earthquake was 1.3 miles, according to the official reports. Make sure you stay up to date with the latest on that story. Plus, if you heard it, make sure that you report it to our studio as well. And we're still following after a devastating news after after our friends at WYFF News 4 has lost their former general manager. We do know that general manager John Humphreys with WYFF News 4 has passed away. We know that before he started WYFF News 4, he worked with many other stations across the United States, and of course at News 4, and he died just the other day. And here's actually the full story we're gonna read to you. So Michael J. Hayes, sorry, I'm reading totally something wrong thing. We didn't know that, of course, the new president and general manager, Blake Bridges, was promoted to the general manager on October 18th, 2024. We do know that John Humphreys died the other day, and his funeral arrangements will be made later on. Let's go ahead and get a check on that traffic with our time saver traffic this afternoon. You're looking at it, I-85 South, mile marker 57. Traffic is a little more heavier. Now, I will say it's not slow, but for about almost towards 3 o'clock, traffic is not bad. But I will say sometimes it gets a little feisty across the upstate about this time. Last night we had a car fire, and if you actually saw, or a tractor trailer fire, and if you saw our YouTube short, there was actually a wreck in Simpsonville in front of the Unity Church and the Ace Hardware. But other than that, I think the Time Saver Traffic Board is actually, surprisingly, it's good today. I'm not seeing any crashes or anything like that, which is always a good sign, of course. But I will say it is a little slow this afternoon on 146 that's Woodruff Road that goes right under I-85. That is a little slow. Looks like right there. I'm trying to get a closer look on where we're looking at. Right there, Woodruff Road and Green Heron Road, right there in that intersection. Looks like it could be a little bit slower on both sides of the road, and then going under I-85. Looks like it could be a little. This is the actual top side of I-85, not Woodruff Road, but right there at the bridge where Woodruff Road crosses over. You can tell it looks a little nice. I mean, you can't see Woodruff Road exactly, but so far it looks good. But let's go ahead in just a moment and take you to our weather, or our gas prices first, as the gas prices just Friday have been up and up all week. We know that in Georgia, current gas prices are $4.04. That's about the average for Georgia. We also do know that the Carolinas have also been hit pretty hard. The Carolinas, North Carolina, as of right now, sitting at the most highest number of the gas prices. We knew that North Carolina is sitting at $4.14 per gallon. We know that South Carolina is sitting at $4.11 per gallon, and that is still very high to this day. But of course, we have been continuing to track that with our consumer news here at News 2. And we'll continue to keep you up to date with that, as it's not fun having to pay, especially if you got a larger vehicle that requires more gas and don't have good gas mileage. It's really not fun. But of course, we're going to keep you up to date with that, our consumer news on News 2, as we continue to show you when our gas prices will be more higher and more better for all of us, because nobody wants to drive when it's definitely terrible out there with our gas prices. But we're going to turn you right after this to our News 2 weather. We like to call it our live Super Doppler 2 weather. We don't own our own Doppler, but we use area-wide Dopplers to build a kind of a center. That's why we call it our live Super Doppler 2 weather center, because we kind of use everyone's Dopplers across the upstate to build out what we need to see and what we need to show you. But let's go ahead and turn now to our weather. Satellite and radar 2 HD is showing us that Yeah, forecast on the twos is showing that we are 62 in Greenville, 62 in Lawrence, Walhalla, Seneca, 60 across the upstate. Wait, hold on, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Our radar is off. We have it on something else. We do not have it on right now. This is okay. I'm so sorry. We are back on schedule. Where current temperatures are 84 in Greenville, 86 in Spartanburg, 86 in Anderson and Greenwood as well. Everywhere is upper 80s. I swear, everywhere but Greenville. Greenville is the lower end of everybody, but everybody else is seeing pretty hot temperatures, which is not fun at all. But our winds are pretty nice. They're very sustained winds. They're not bad, which is very good to have at this hour. Let's go ahead and show you this camera. What is looking South Carolina Department of Transportation SC511 is looking. It looks like we're I-85, I do believe, and yeah, it maybe I-85. I'm not really sure there. It looks like traffic, and then the camera looks like it's frozen, but nope, not anymore. That was looks like it was earlier. Anyway. But hey, our winds and everything is very nice. Now here's a look right now at our latest temperatures as we move on. So our latest temperatures across the upstate, feeling interesting, right? Over the next several hours as we go on the afternoon, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, we still continue to trek down back into the 80s by 7 o'clock. So getting ready to eat supper. It's not going to be as hot, but still, anywhere from their lake areas are also not going to be fun to be on the lake. 9, 10, 11 o'clock tonight, temperature is expected to get down to the 50s potentially, 68 by 3 a.m. I mean, some hours may bottom out at 50, upper 50s, but mainly 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're expecting to see 70s by church time. I know if you're going and attending an 8 o'clock service, 8, 9, 10 o'clock service, it's going to be a hot day all day long. 8 degrees by about lunchtime, and a little after, touching 90. Now, we do have potential for an impact day, which actually we're going to go ahead and roll out an impact day into your forecast. Now, of course, we're not confirmed anything, but we're going to go ahead and place an impact day. Live Super Opera 2H, the impact day, and that is actually going to be put in right now on your screen. And the reason why we're doing this, you may be wondering, why are you doing this? Like, it's not even been confirmed. Well, we're going ahead and placing the impact day because it's just going to be so hot and there's potential for storms tomorrow. Let's go ahead and map it out. What are we expecting to see? Well, over the next several hours tomorrow by 3, 4, 5 o'clock, we see a lot more scattered thunderstorms potentially and a lot more rain by 5, 6 o'clock and potential lightning. You see all these lightning strikes. Now, every lightning strike on the board does not mean lightning. That's just a potential map of where it could be. So I would expect some areas like Greenville to be more of a rainy mixture. I don't really know what just happened. Okay. Anyway, back to the upstate. 86 by tomorrow and touching 90, and then 8, 9 o'clock. Our storms kind of roll out, but there is that potential with some of our models. Our GFS model even showing by 5, 5, 6 o'clock, 8, 9. It could even get some parts of the upstate. Our European icon models are not showing anything. We leave it on our American standard model, but every hour shows something different. Now, here's our extended day for the next several days. That and more coming up. So if you stay with us after the break and time saver traffic and more news and weather, we'll have the latest on what you can expect for our impact day further because we got 2 impact days on the way. So just stay with us on that as well. So when we come back from the break, we'll be right back. Well, let's go ahead and take a look right now at our time saver traffic with our area's traffic network over the upstate on air. And let's go ahead and take a look. I-85 South, mile marker 57, not looking bad. I will say it's a little more heavier traffic now. It's not slow, but I mean, it is a little more heavier. So if you want to be, I mean, it's easy flowing, so that's definitely something there. But like I said, you're not going to see any slowdowns for the next little bit out of this camera, which it's good, but again, like I said, don't expect to see any heavy traffic. It's not going to be on the radar. Now, let's take one more look at our I-385 south right there at Malden. We're at the Malden exit. Mile marker 29.5. Looks good. I-385 south right there at that mile marker 30 in that area is always pretty good unless it's like rush hour. Now, sometimes there's a crash over there. Other than that, that is looking good today. But when we come back from our little traffic break, we'll have the latest on the rest of your news and weather for the weekend.
This is your latest check of Time Saver Traffic. This report is brought to you by SC Department of Transportation.
Been in an accident. Dial 8647742164.
Continuing our breaking news, we actually did not cover this story within the last several hours after this happened yesterday. We do know an Greenville officer was killed and another was critically injured in Spartanburg County. We know that a head-on crash in Spartanburg County killed 5 people, including a police sergeant with Greenville County, according to the investigators. The crash happened at 12:45 a.m. on Highway 101 near Bellevue Road Extension. Troopers said a 2025 Ford SUV was traveling north on Highway 101, and a 2016 Toyota SUV was traveling south on Highway 101. We do know that it said that 2 vehicles collided head-on. The driver and the passenger with the Ford SUV died, as well as the 2 passengers in the Toyota SUV. died as well. Another passenger in the Toyota SUV was injured. Of course, we are still following this story and how it led to the police's death. And we do want to remind you that we have a lot of breaking news that's all the time happening on the upstate. We'll make sure you know to stay with us at all times on our YouTube channel. And if you have our app, if you don't, go to our YouTube channel and it will show you the link right there at the top of the channel. And you download that, and we try to keep that up to date daily to keep you ahead of live local breaking news you can count on. We also do know that the suspect is in custody after a bank robbery in Malden. Prompts a lockdown for some nearby schools. We do know the suspect in custody after a bank robbery in Malden that prompted the lockdown of several schools yesterday. We do know, according to the city of Malden, shortly before 11 a.m., officers were called with the Malden Police Department to the Pinnacle Bank on East Butler Road near Bojangles. We do know the officials said that the suspect ran to the arbors at Brookfield Apartments, where he was taken into custody by officers. The suspect was later identified as 34-year-old Daniel Brandon Conner of Malden. He was charged with bank robbery. We do know that, as precaution, Greenville County Schools said that Malden High School was placed on a brief secure hold that has been lifted. We do want to remind you that when things like this happen, Greenville County Schools puts each of their schools on either hold, lockdown, or secure to make sure students inside the buildings are safe. And we're still following after a suspicious ATM withdrawal turned interesting, which led to a caregiver's arrest. We do know that a caretaker in Davie County, North Carolina, has been arrested after deputies received reports in February of fraud activity on an elderly woman's bank account. The Davie County Sheriff's Office says that the report came from a family member after she was noticed of a large number of suspicious ATM transactions on her mother-in-law's checking account. The officials said the transactions took place on locations in Davie County and Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The family advised deputies that the victim had a caretaker whom they suspected who had stolen the money. Detectives were able to retrieve surveillance from the Wells Fargo that showed 41-year-old Tiffany Smith was making the transactions. We do know that she has been charged with 10 counts of felony identity theft, 10 counts of felony obtaining property by false pretense, and 7 counts felony financial card fraud, 3 counts of misdemeanor financial card fraud, 1 count of financial credit theft, and 1 count of felony exploit disabled elder trust. Smith received a $60,000 secured bond. She is currently in custody at the Davie County Detention Center. Well, let's go ahead and take one last check at our weather for the rest of the afternoon and this weekend, plus next week when we do have some storms ramping up. Let's go ahead and show you. This is a look right now at our impact day with our radar and our forecast. 84 degrees right now. It's kind of hot. It's a little hot, a little too hot to do anything, right? Well, let's go ahead and map it out for you. It's going to be a nice day, I will say, but it's going to be hot, right? So let's go ahead and map out the rest of the week. So Monday and Tuesday, we're expecting to see 70s by 1 a.m. and 60s, upper 60s, and back to 70. Now you can see there's a little stray showers that could show up on our Monday forecast for some of the upstate. Yeah, you can see by 10, 11 o'clock lunchtime, hitting 80s, and those showers could arrive but then fatally move out to western North Carolina by 5 o'clock. We're sitting in the 90s in Greenville. That is nice to see that we're back in the upper temperatures. Now, by 7 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock, we're sitting about the 70s, upper 70s. Tuesday is when we're looking to be a little bit more on the 60s side of things. Then back up to 70 by 8, 9 o'clock. So kids getting ready for school, already back to hot temperatures. And Tuesday hitting 90. So that's a little check of your next several days, and make sure that you stay with us on the rest of our live Super Opera 2 days. Now we are placing an impact day tomorrow to be just to prepare for the potential for storms. Now, we're not 100% sure rolling anything out, but we are going to go ahead and place an impact day in tomorrow. If you actually check out our forecast that we'll have on our daily on YouTube, you will get to see it. And we are trying to make out some email blasts to send out per day and per breaking news event and so much more. So when we get that set up, we'll actually let you know that first and faster. Let's take one last look at our weather, our traffic with Time Saver Traffic. And it's looking so far so good. I-385 southbound, getting you home, going into Simpsonville is looking very nice. I will say that there is not nothing slowing us down right now. So we know that yesterday we did have that little interesting moment. We actually got on air after a tractor trailer was burning on I-85. That was a little interesting, and yeah. So that was definitely interesting. But look at I-85 North, exit 51 in Greenville. All looking nice. Have a great day.
This is your latest check of Time Saver Traffic. This report is brought to you by SC Department of Transportation.
Been in an accident? Dial 8647742164.